Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and welcome to episode 124 of Magnificent Mondays. I nearly forgot the name of my show then. Anyway, and this week we're going to break down and review Earthquake from 1974, another disaster movie. A few weeks ago we did the Poseidon Adventure, didn't we? So this week we're doing Earthquake, starring the people on there. I'm blanking. Charlton Heston. Genevieve Bujold, Lorne Green, George Kennedy, Richard Roundtree, and a host of others, an all-star cast. And Justin's here saying, I have not seen this for a long time. I hadn't seen it for a long time until yesterday when I watched it. By the way, the Blu-ray, nice picture on it, but the bugger all like special features. Very disappointing, very vanilla. Anyway, whatever. So I've had to get all my information about it from IMDb, so I do have notes. Anywho, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on Rumble and YouTube, obviously. Explore the description. Where's my finger? There it is. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch, bloody game, and my books, which are under there, Amazon Kindle and paperback, my social medias and all that, and what else, and other things, me websites, me other channels, become a member, and then you get early access videos and exclusive videos, like members only live streams, and stuff like that when I can get things to work, unlike yesterday, when I couldn't get my members only live stream to work properly. Got the stream to work, but what I wanted to do in it wouldn't work. But anyway, Windressing saying, rest in peace, Robert Duvall. Has Robert Duvall passed away? Let's have a look. What shall I look on? I don't know. I'll just type in Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall. Yes, 15th of February 2026. He was 95 though, so, can't complain. Great actor, Robert Duvall, been in some great films, obviously The Godfather ones, and for some reason I always think of Deep Impact, because it was lovely in that. It was very soft-spoken. He was an astronaut in Deep Impact. Took command and all that stuff. But anyway, yes, so rest in peace, Robert Duvall. Unfortunately, he's not in this film. He's not in Earthquake. Everybody else seems to be, but not Robert Duvall. Justin says 6.6 million budget, made 167 million. Yes, it did. Earthquake. Not that big a budget when you think about it, is it? For the scale of the film, it is like an epic film. It is a very special film. I thought it were an Irwin Allen production, because it does have that sort of feel, like Poseidon Adventure was and Towering Inferno, which came out the same year, Towering Inferno, but it isn't. It is, we shall get into it now, in 1974. It's a Mark Robson direction and production. Who the hell's Mark Robson? I have no idea. Let's have a look. Canadian-American film director. What else did he do? Let's have a look. The name don't ring a bell to me. Bridges at Toko-Ri, Peyton Place, Inn of the Sixth Happiness, Von Ryan's Express, Valley of the Dolls. Bloody hell, yes, so he's done some good stuff. Von Ryan's Express is good. I like that film. Is Robert Duvall in that? I think he might be. Hang on, let me check again. Let me check. Where is he? Who's in it? Oh, no, maybe not. Not there on the list. I'm obviously thinking of a different film. But I know Frank Sinatra's in it. Anyway, I nearly said anywho then, didn't I? Where were we? Yes, produced and directed by Mark Robson. The original screenplay was written by Mario Puzo of The Godfather and Superman fame, but they got George Fox in, some bloke called George Fox, were a magazine writer apparently, to redo the script, and so that's what we got in the film. It stars Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, George Kennedy, Lorne Green, I'm going to say Genevieve, I've heard people pronounce it Genevieve, behave. She's Canadian, not French, although French-Canadian, but they're not real French people, are they? Genevieve Bujold, Richard Roundtree, Marge. By the way, the French Canadians sound to European French people like Americans sound to us English people? I don't know. Anyway, Richard Roundtree, Major Gortner, great name, strange actor. He's a good actor. I've liked him in, well, I haven't seen him in a lot, to be honest. You know, pops up every now and again. Star Crash comes to mind. But he was like an evangelist or something, like a preacher, wasn't he? Like before and after his acting career. But anyway. And Victoria Principal in a memorable role with her mad hair, which is real and not a wig. Music by John Williams. I think he did the music for Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, and this, all sort of like one after another. He became known as the King of Disaster or something like that. Disaster movie scores. And as Julian said, $6.6 million budget, $167 million at the box office. What's the Julian for? Justin. I'm going crackers. I am. Justin says, not Julian, whoever Julian is. Yeah, Robert Duvall, one of my favourites. The Apostle, The Judge, The Godfather, and part. Joe Kidd. Apocalypse Now, yes. And so many. Lonesome Dove. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? When I said he were in Von Ryan's Express, he were in The Eagle Has Landed. He were in that. I could picture him in a German uniform, and I was thinking of that. The Eagle Has Landed, I think. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? We're not going to watch the film because YouTube will go mental and shut down the stream because that's what they do. So we're going to go through it in a series of stills. I'll try and remember the film. I watched it yesterday for the first time in a gazillion years, and I really enjoyed it. It's a really good film, better than I thought it was. Falling Down, yes, he was in Falling Down as well, with Michael Douglas. Joel Schumacher film, wasn't it, Falling Down? Another film I haven't seen for quite a while. Right, so I'll pop myself down in the corner, and we shall begin. We'll get into this flick, shall we? I forgot me things. Is it that one? Yeah, it'll do. Right, add it to the stage. Did I add that? No, I didn't. There we go. Hope it behaves itself tonight. There we go. Yes, you can see it. Right, the good old Universal. My favourite movie. Ident. Is that what they call them? Idents. I do like that one from the 70s Universal logo. I really like it. I don't know why. I just do. It makes me feel all funny inside. Kind of makes me feel funny. Justin says, yes, so many great movies. Oscar win also, yes, and many awards. And it's Fallen Down, great movie. Yes, it is. Although I haven't seen it for a long time. Right, where were we? Hang on. Right, off we go. We begin. There it is. There's Los Angeles. Because that's where that is where the film is set, in Los Angeles. We get the light showing the Hollywood sign in this film. We see it quite a few times. But there we go. Earthquake. Do we have the music? John Williams music? Yes, we do. We won't dwell on that. By the way, I think the first time I really noticed the earthquake music, I'd seen the film, but I got one of those, you probably don't know who he is, Jeff Love albums. Jeff Love, I've mentioned him before, were a British band leader, Jeff Love and his band, and his orchestra, not and his band. He had an orchestra, not a band, and they used to bring out LPs, like usually cut price LPs, with like movie themes and TV themes and stuff like that. And I always remember he had a big disaster movie themes album, which I have got over there. I've got loads of Jeff Love albums, and this one on it, and it made an impression. Oh, crikey! Thank you, Justin. A $1.99 super sticker. I'll have to check over here to see what it is, because it doesn't show us in StreamYards. It is behind the scenes. Oh, it's a clapperboard. There we go. It's a clapperboard with rainbow colours on, because that's the sort of world we live in. Anyway, right. Oh, there we go. There's Charlton Heston and loads of other people. It'll go through them all. There we go. Genevieve Bujold, who you may recognise as the original Inchy Wingrace, Captain Janeway, Captain Nicole Janeway. Is she related to Catherine? Don't know. Right, anyway, so here we are. Right, we're going through all the... does it say? No, it doesn't say till the end. There's a super famous actor in, but he's not billed as his super famous actor name. You'll know when we get there. Anyway, so we're going through the credits. Oh, there we go. Special photographic effects by Albert Whitlock. He's like a super famous, brilliant matte artist. Loads of matte. He did The Thing and loads of others. He's done loads of other films as well. The Birds and millions of films. And he did the Hindenburg, were another one of his. He did loads of matte paintings for this film. They're really, really good. And they had 12 weeks. I presume he had a team. I imagine he had a team. I don't think he did them all himself. But they had 12 weeks to do 70 matte paintings. Anyway, they did. But anyway, so here we go. There's the Hollywood sign. Let's first look at the Hollywood sign. What's this lake here? I'm not au fait with Los Angeles, to be completely honest. What's this lake called? I don't know. This is supposed to be the Hollywood Dam, but it says here somewhere in my notes about the dam. If I can find it. I think I've got it in my notes. Rum-ti-tum, tiddly-pum. I've got a lot. There we go. The Hollywood Dam featured in the film is actually the Mulholland Dam, named after famed engineer William Mulholland. The near-identical St. Francis Dam near Valencia, California, collapsed due to a geological fault on March 12, 1928, and the resulting flood killed over 450 people. It remains California's second deadliest natural disaster after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. There we go. Blimey. Anyway, Justin says the late 60s and 1970s disaster movies were good. Yes, they were. It was a great time for disaster movies because we had, like I say, we had Poseidon Adventure, we had Airport, and Airport 75, Airport 77, Airport. Sometimes it's Airport 79, sometimes it's Airport 8. It depends. The Concorde, didn't we? Which I really like that one. I think I saw that one at the cinema. And some people class Starflight 1 as an airport film, but it's not really. And we had Towering Inferno, Earthquake, Avalanche. What else did we have? Could you class Jaws and like Orca and as the disaster movies, or their creature features, whatever? Anyway, Wingrace says, saw somewhere that they considered getting her to be the Nicole in Lower Decks in an alternate universe. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. Maybe she wasn't available or didn't want to do it. And Justice says, back in the day, the clappers were many colours. I have one from 1982. Okie dokies. It's not an LGBTQ etc. thing then. Not that I'm bothered if it was. Anyway, right, produced and directed by Mark Robson, who sounds like some bloke from down the road, doesn't he? It's not a glamorous Hollywood name, is it? Who are you, Mark Robson? Anyway, never mind. But anyway, I suppose Alfred Hitchcock isn't really a glamorous name, but it's memorable. Anyway, Mark Robson's kind of a forgettable name, isn't it? Right, so here we are at the dam. It's supposed to be the Hollywood Dam, it says. And there's the Hollywood sign. This is Charlton Heston jogging towards us. Here he comes, look. And then, he's obviously keeping fit. So, straight in from jogging, and he's on his machine, giving it all that look. Getting ready for his flight into space, where he goes back to the Planet of the Apes. Although that would be before this, but never mind. Anyway, so he's keeping fit, and I'm going to say something, I forgot what it was. Never mind. And we're going to meet his wife in this. I'm going to tell you who he plays. I've forgotten the name of all the cast. Graff, is it Sam? Sam Graff. No, it's Stuart Graff. Who's Sam Graff? Oh, Long Green Sam Royce, right. And Mary Mug... What are you on about? Mary Mugdaughter. Don't know. I've said something, haven't I? And I can't remember what. Anyway. Where were we? Right, so he's doing his exit. We're going to meet his wife now, played by Ava Gardner. His wife's called Remy. There she is, Ava Gardner, who is the daughter in this film of Lorne Greene, even though she's only 7 years younger than him. But Rob's son and mugged. See, I mean that's vague even for you, Win Grace. I mean, come on, bloody hell. To go with my bloody game T-shirt. Anyway, yeah, it's very, very funny, Win Grace. Whoops! There goes another rib. Anyway, so he's working out. We see that they're in a kind of a loveless marriage. I don't know how long they've been married. Apparently, Stuart Graff was a bit of a football star in his youth, and now he's gone on to be a top engineer and like an architect or whatever for the firm that's run by her father. But anyway, but that's it. They don't seem to love each other, although they do. But you know, it's one of those weird marriages. She's very jealous of him and all that, and you can see she's saying, "God damn it already." But anyway, she thinks he's having an affair, which he ends up does having an affair, but he's not having an affair right now. But anyway, right, so. He's going to see. It's saying here, look, a lot of time for breakfast. Denise Marshall's boy wants a signed football of his. And Denise Marshall, who is the Genevieve Bujold character, is the wife of an employee of his that were killed on the job, and now he feels not guilty, but he feels an obligation to kind of look after her. And she thinks he's having an affair with her, which he's not at the moment, but later on in the film they do. And he does broach that later, because later on in the film she goes on at him, and he says, "I knew you were having an affair," and he goes, "I wasn't, but I am now," more or less. That's more or less the quote, but that's what he's getting at. Anyway, so she's having a go, and they're having a row, and she's going to fake a suicide attempt in a minute, because he's going to get in the shower, look. "But first sniff my armpits," he says. "Remy, you would hardly call this a marriage, would you?" I can't do Charlton Heston. Anyway, so there we go. She's ligged on the bed, and he finds a empty pill bottle. So he phones somebody up. I'm not exactly sure who. Don't phone an ambulance. He tells them to phone an ambulance. I don't know. Maybe it's a doctor or a shrink or something. And she's done it. So she's obviously done it before. She's very highly strung, as we can see. Got lots of shoes, like Imelda Marcos. Remember her? She had lots of shoes, didn't she, apparently? But then it all starts shaking. We get his first earthquake of the film, a tremor. So that wakes her up, and this is where we learn she was faking it. She didn't really take the tablets. She flushed them. Well, she threw them down the toilet, and he plays pop with her, says you could at least flush the toilet after you throw the pills down them. So he leaves then. "I'm going now." Anyway, right, meanwhile, back at the dam, this chap, don't ask me the names of any of them, I don't know, I can't remember, I'm sure they have got names. He's a worker at the dam, and they're going to inspect it after this tremor that they've just had. So this fella's going to go down in the elevator. I think that chap, maybe, or some. I think it is him. Yes, I think it is him. Goes down in the elevator to check the dam, make sure it's okay. Charlton's off to heading out to see Denise. It is custom made, whatever the heck it is, K5. I can't make that out. Something or other. Apparently, this was specially made for the film. Why? I don't really know, but it was. And it's got a custom gearbox. I don't know if it has in real life, but it says in the film it's got a custom gearbox with 8 million forward gears and 12 reverse gears and stuff. And I don't really know what the point is, but anyway. Right, so he's gone to see Denise. Right, anyway, so meanwhile, right, there we go. You check the base, I'll look down below. In the base down below? I don't know. Oh, hang on, Wing Grace is saying, a Viper, is that what it's called? Hang on, let's go back again. Is that what it said on the side of it? Oh no, it doesn't say. It says, I think it says Blazer or something, doesn't it? I don't know. I've got it, it's in the notes somewhere, but I didn't check it. Just bear with me, I'll do a Control F. See if we can find what it says. I'll just type custom and see if that finds it. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one either. Here we go. Right. The customised 1974 Chevrolet Blazer K5 Cheyenne, driven by Charlton Heston, was built specifically for the film, originally a light blue colour, as evidenced by the interior. Not that I could really see. The SUV was painted silver with the red stripe and black rocker panels by the Universal Studios Transportation Department. The largest customisation to the SUV was a Tiger top that was open over the driver and passenger seats, which replaced the factory removable hard top. Other minor modifications include an air deflector on the hood, custom front grille insert, blah 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 blah, and big things and all that stuff. The point of it is, later on in the film, George Kennedy gets in the car, is going to, he's like commandeers it because he plays a police officer, but he can't drive it because he wants to get people out of the disaster zone, to get help. And he says, it looks tough, pardon me, it looks like it'll get through anything. So that's why it's like that. Anyway, looks like a BSG ship. Oh, you're on about the stripe, right? Fair enough. Yeah, I thought you meant that was what it were called. Yes. Oh, Starsky and Hutch's. It looks like Starsky and Hutch's car, doesn't it? Used to love that when I was a kid. Anyway, right, so off he goes. Right, so he's going to check the base. I'll look down below. The base and below, surely that's the same thing. I don't know. But anyway, off he goes. Here he goes into the elevator that goes down. Why don't you just use the ladder? By the way, you see lots of axes in this film. Well, at least two, I've just noticed. There's that axe there. I wonder if it's the same one that we see later on in the film that Lorne Greene uses. I don't know. It looks the same. Right, so he's checking the base. Is he going to see a crack? I don't know. Let's have a look. Does he notice anything? Don't know. It looks weird, doesn't it? Here it is on Deep Dell Place, I'm guessing. On the radio, blah, 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 blah. There's a weird bit of dialogue here. It's like very expositional. He's on the phone to his secretary at Royce Inc. Don't know where Rolls is. Saying, I'll be a little late. I think her is Barbara, I think, maybe. Who is... here we go, his secretary. I think it's... I don't know. But it's going to be late. And here's Lorne Greene. And he says, is that Stuart? Let me speak to him. And then she says, in this weird... I don't know why she says it like this.
Oh, Mr. Graff just come out, your father-in-law.
It's your father-in-law. Why do you say it's Mr. Royce? It's letting us know that it's his father-in-law. Anyway, so we learn that he won't budge on the Cameron matter, which is like an account they've got. I think Cameron is some building developer, and Stuart won't let him build this, whatever he wants to build, to regulation. He wants to build it above regulation, if you know what I mean. He wants to make it super, super safe, and the fella just wants to do it, to regulation to save money and all that. And they won't let it slide. So that's what he's on about there. Right, so he's looking for his mate, and so he's going to go down the elevator. But we see, hang on, here we go, that it's full of water, and the poor fella that were down there has drowned, although he kind of looks alive there, doesn't he? He opened his eyes, I saw him. But he isn't. He's no longer with us, as you can see. He's got his eyes open, but he had them closed earlier. So he gets on the blower. Right, so then we cut. It's a lot of quick action, We're meeting all the characters to George Kennedy and some other bloke. I don't know. It's probably super famous. I don't know who he is. Does it tell us? Let's have a look. See if I can remember. Bum 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 bum. I don't know. I'm trying to see. There's that many people in this film. I don't know. I can't remember the character's name. Anyway, they're chasing. This is George Kennedy, who plays Lou something or other. I've forgotten. Where Where's George Kennedy? Lou Slade, that's it. Cool name, Lou Slade. And they're chasing after somebody who's stolen a car. So there they go. That's that fella they're chasing in that snazzy car. So anyway, so it's quite a cool chase, I must admit. Lots of high speed action going on. And it's where we learn that Lou, he does his own thing. He's a bit devil may care and all that. So he's saying, calm down, the captain will bust us if we mess up in the county against the leaving their jurisdiction now. And they're headed into, I don't know, Beverly Hills or whatever. Anyway, so this fella crashes his car in through this hedge. Here we go, he goes round there. Goes up this bit, there just happens to be a nice little ramp there for him to go up over that curb. Luckily, there we go, and the police car. And he crashes into a hedge and runs away, and that's the last we see of him. Apparently he was supposed to get caught and die later on in the film during the earthquake, but we don't see him again. But anyway, I presume a chips officer, whatever, who says county sheriff, I think it's supposed to be like Beverly Hills or somewhere. Then I said stay out of the county, and so George Kennedy just punches him in the face, because apparently that's Zsa Zsa Gabor's house. So here we go. Zsa Zsa Gabor punches him. Cool sound effects in this film, by the way, because it was released, I don't know if it was the first one, it might have been, to be released with censor round, which I don't think they ever used it over here, but over yonder in America land, they had like really bassy speakers, and I think they had like rockers and stuff in the chairs, didn't there, or something like that, something to make the chairs rumble, but they had super bassy speakers that made the walls shake, and it didn't catch on. I don't know, like 3 or 4 films did it. Is it in my notes? I think it's in my notes somewhere, just bear with me. The other films that use censor round. I've got it in my notes here somewhere. Here we go. Censor round was only used in 3 films. 3 more times, sorry. Battle of Midway in 76, Roller Coaster in 77. That's another disaster one, isn't it? Which I think I have seen. And, of course, Battlestar Galactica, the theatrical version, in 1978. And all the rumbling of the ships going by were cool. Anyway, so there we go. It's a good old sense around. Speaking of Battlestar Galactica, Wingraves, yes. Anyway, I would have said something else and I've forgotten. They did think about dropping bits of plaster on audiences, make it like a 4D experience. But in some theatres, it actually did it anyway, because of all the shaking and rumbling from the super bassy speakers made some of the plaster and stuff fall down. But anyway. But nobody was badly injured. Anyway, right, so here we are at Denise, whatever the last name is. I'll just say Denise's house. Genevieve Bujold, the lovely Genevieve Bujold, who couldn't handle technobabble on Star Trek Voyager. Because she was cast as Captain Nicole Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. She even filmed for like 2 or 3 days, and it wasn't working. So she stepped aside. I think she jumped before she was pushed, didn't she? But and so they got Kate Mulgrew, who did a lot better, and they changed the name to Catherine Janeway. But anyway, right. So anyway, there she is, and here comes. She got a son. There you go. Don't know what his name is. I've forgotten. But. Here, another view of the Hollywood sign. I bet Justin and Wingrace have seen that sign loads of times because they live in America. Like I've seen Big Ben. See Big Ben every day, whoever he is. Anyway, so Stuart's arrived at Denise's house. There we go, with the ball. There we go. And apparently he just wanted it because there were another autograph on it. Of somebody, Frank Gifford. I don't know. The name rings a bell. Was he an actor? Or is that somebody else? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure he was probably a football player. I don't know why an actor would start in football. Anyway, so here we are. So, you know, there's obviously chemistry between them, but just not on film. But she's making him a coffee. And she's an actress, and she's appearing in a movie. And she's you know, will you read some lines to me? He said, I don't know what to do. But there we go. Pardon me. And apparently, this is the script to this film that they're actually in. So they're reading their lines for this part in that bit. So there we go. Anyway, so there we go. So he's helping her out with that. But anyway, blah 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 blah. They're going to fall in love. Because you know, as all good disaster movies must have, you know, drama and interpersonal relationships. We've got to know everybody and all their backstory and everything before disaster hits. Anyway, meanwhile, this is George Kennedy getting chewed out by his captain, or his lieutenant, or whatever he is, I don't know, but the boss. And he's put on leave, suspended. So, anyway, there we go. So, you know, he sticks up for himself, you know, but says, you know, date set, what does it say? It says somewhere, I've seen it somewhere. Date set for a departmental trial now. Go home, you know. But anyway, so he's suspended. That's his partner. He tells his partner, you know, he goes like that to his partner. So he's heading to a bar. Meanwhile, at this place, which is some seismology department somewhere, this fella works out, not him, there's Donald Moffat, you may remember from The Thing, and Logan's Run, the TV series. He's like the head of this department, and I think this fella over here, he says, we're going to have a big quake within 48 hours. That fella, who kind of looks like Ike Eisenman's older brother, doesn't he? I don't know who he is. I don't know the name of the actor, but he does look like as though he's related to Ike Eisenman. Remember him? He wore Peter Preston in Star Trek 2, and he were in the Witch Mountain films from the 70s, and Fantastic Journey, that TV series from the 70s, and other stuff, obviously, but that's where I remember him from. Looks like him. He's the one that's saying, you know, we're going to have a big earthquake, I'm predicting it. And obviously, you can't predict him, but anyway. Nobody believes him, but then they do believe him because it's all going to happen. It's all going to kick off. They go, we're going to get a really big quake. Anyway, meanwhile, I think the boss of them is here at this big, massive matte painting crack in the ground. Well, that bit is over there. So they're here checking on that. They are. Putting some instruments in that big crack in the ground. That's a toupee. Or is it just a comb over? I don't know. So anyway, so in they go. But then we get another tremor and it all starts rumbling and well, the sheep know what's going to happen. And then look, they get buried alive. I thought it was going to close up on them and squish them, but it didn't. They just get buried alive. So they're dead. Look, oh no, earthquake stuff going on. Meanwhile, this is Denise's lad on his bike by some electricity pylons, very scenic. So he's riding about through there. What could go wrong there? I don't know. Now we're going to meet Richard Roundtree's character, who plays Miles Quaid. I know that because it's on the side of his van, and his manager, agent, etc. Sal, I think it's Sal. Yes, played by Gabriel Dell. And he's like an Evel Knievel chap. I just mentioned Evel Knievel later on, but you know, he's what it says there, world's top motorcycle daredevil, and he's going to do all this stuff. Apparently, they're waiting for somebody from Vegas to come, and they're going to show him this this act that they've put together. They're going to go through there, do a loop, and then go through a hoop of fire and stuff like that. But they've not got much money. They're running out of money. But anyway, so there he is. Apparently, this character, the Miles Quaid, were going to be played. I think they asked Richard Dreyfuss and somebody else. It is in my notes. If I see it, tell you. Where are you? And Sonny Bono as well were also considered for this part. Where is it? I've seen it somewhere. So I'm just sitting here with my thumb out. There was somebody else as well. It might have been John. No, it was somebody else. Well, I thought I had it in my notes. No, I hadn't. But Richard Dreyfuss and somebody else who I can't remember. And speaking of other actors that were considered for the starring roles, if I can find these, for Christ's sake. Oh, here we go. The part of Miles Quaid, Richard Roundtree, was originally written for an Italian-American, Joe Namath, whoever he is, and Richard Dreyfuss were considered before the character, and Sonny Bono apparently was considered before the character was reimagined. Ava Gardner did her own stunts apparently. Well, I suppose the easy ones. Where were we? Here we go. There's the character of Sam Royce as the Lawn Green character, who plays Remy's dad. It was originally offered to James Stewart, who declined. I'm sure he went. The part was then offered to Fred McMurray. Name rings a bell. I can't think where from. Robert Young, Ernest Borgnine, of course, Ben Johnson, and Lee J. Cobb. Before the role went to Lawn Green, I'm sure they were thinking, I'm not exactly first choice, am I? Anyway. Paul Newman and Steve McQueen were approached to star, presumably in the Charlton Heston role, but they had already committed to appear in The Towering Inferno. And Charlton Heston turned down the opportunity of playing Chief Brody in Jaws to be in this film. That's the first I've heard of that. I've seen loads of documentaries about Jaws, and I've never seen mentioned that Charlton Heston was supposed to play Chief Brody. But anyway. What else? Elizabeth Montgomery, Candice Bergen, Jacqueline Bissett, Sharon Gless, of Cagney and Lacey fame, Sondra Locke, Clint Eastwood's ex-beau, Mrs. whatever, Meredith Baxter, Kate Jackson of Charlie's Angels fame, Susan St. James and Susan Clark were all considered for the part of Denise. And John Voight, James Caan and Burt Reynolds and James Brolin were all considered for the part of Stuart Graff. Oh, we still haven't done. Beau Bridges, Alan Alda, Stacey Keats, James Brolin again, Rock Hudson, John Cassavetes, Kevin Tighe and William Atherton were considered for the part of Officer Lou Slade. Is that it? Yes, right. Off we go. Get your fins off me, you damn dirty shark. Yes, that's what it'd have been like, wouldn't it? It'd have been cool. Anyway, where were we? Right, so they said, we'll have it ready for when the fella from Vegas will come. Alright, and he said he wants a dolly bird to advertise what's going on. They wanted some sort of model. This is where Victoria Principal comes in. That's what do they call? I don't know. Is the name of her son? Just bear with me. Corrie. His name is Corrie. This must be a Coronation Street fan. There was these spikes there for dramatic effect. Apparently they need some butane as well, and they've no money. They're running out of money, but they need to go buy some butane, presumably for the fire effect they're going to have. Anyway, so off he goes riding his bike. Right, Victoria Principal's here now with her mad hair, and it is a real hair. She's not wearing a wig. When they cast her, apparently she had straight hair. I mean, nobody knows her for a straight hair. Like, she was in Dallas and all that, wasn't she? But on a whim, she had her hair cut, and she decided she wanted an afro for some weird reason. This was like days before the shoot, and I presume the director wasn't happy. but, tough. You had to make do. Anyway, she's here doing some shopping, and she doesn't have enough money. This is where we get introduced to Marjo Gortner, who plays a creepy character. He's a bit of a creep. There he is. Look, thinks he's bloody Colonel Sanders, doesn't he, with his tie. But he's obviously, he likes her because it's Victoria Principal, for Christ's sake. Anyway, he tells her, just pay the rest, when you can. Because she says, I'll put something back. She didn't have quite enough money, so I'll put something back. And he says, no, just pay the rest next time you're in. So there we go. He's eyeing her up. He's creepy. He's a bad guy. He's not a goodie in this film, Marjo Gortner. Not like he is in Star Crash. Cool film. Oh dear. Nothing can survive these deadly rays. He don't say that, somebody says it to him. Anyway. Right, so back at the lake and the dam, there's a big thing there with water going down. A big plug oil, as we say in Yorkshire. A big plug oil. Plug hole. Whatever. With a rainbow. So here, look, we see they find out there were a crack. That it was damaged, and that caused the elevator to fill with water. Anyway, but they're not going to close the beach or whatever. Right, it's Harry Krishna's, is that what they call him? Outside Marjo Gortner's shop. What's the name of his character? I can't say Mark. Keep saying Marjo Gortner. Jodie. Outside Jodie's shop, and he doesn't like it. It says they're driving his customers away. So he taps on the window to Lou Slade and says, can't you do something about them? Lou Slade, obviously not a cop now, is he? He's on his way home or to the bar. He just says, no, you got something against religion? So he heads into the bar. Here he is. Getting a drink. Crikey, Justin, blimey. A $5 super chat for all the good you do. I don't do any good, me. Bloody rubbish. But thank you, Justin. That's hugely appreciated. It helps. It really, really does. It really, really does. So he's boozing away. We see some fellas in the background playing pool, and one of them is Tiger Man from Buck Rogers, but we don't see him just yet. There's a famous actor. There he is, who just plays the drunk. Obviously, it's Walter Matthau, but he didn't want to be credited as Walter Matthau. I don't know why. I think it was just a joke. I don't know, but I will tell you the full story when I get up to the top. The producer, Jennings Lang, offered a cameo role to his friend Walter Matthau. Matthau accepted without compensation on the condition that he be billed under the name Walter Matushanskayaski, the last name being a long-standing inside joke that he had used for decades. The role was originally scripted as a drunk sits at the end of the bar, like that. Which was expanded by writer George Fox, giving the character lines of dialogue involving toasts to celebrities. When the film was completed, as agreed to by Lang and Matthau, the drunk was credited as Walter Matushanskayaski. This led to a long-standing and false rumour that Matushanskayaski was Matthau's real last name, which maybe it's not. Hang on. Yes, you do. Don't down. I thought don't drown yourself in an elevator. By the way, that fella drowning in that elevator is not the last elevator death we get in this film. That's about as funny as one of my jokes. Walter I can't say it. No, your jokes are much funnier, Wingrace, even though I don't get them because I'm stupid. Excuse me, wheeze. That was a smoker's wheeze, that one. I don't have a smoke. Anyway, right, so he's boozing, he's fed up, look, he's knocking them back because he's off duty. There's Tiger Man. I can't remember the name of the actor. I'll know it when I see it, just bear with me. H.B. Haggerty, that's the fella, H.B. Haggerty. As I said, who played Tiger Man in Buck Rogers, there he is. We see a bit more of him later. Right, so they're here look on about, we're going to have a big massive quake, a huge one, a 12.7 on the do for what's it scale. Don't say that. That's the actual earthquake that does hit in a bit. It's supposed to be 9.9, which I think's impossible, isn't it? I don't think, it'd be like that sort of size of it'd like tear the earth apart or something, literally, wouldn't it? But yeah. But whatever, it's just a film. So they're all on about that. They're waffling on about that, and we can't do anything about it. And what if we warn people and nothing happens? Our credibility would go down the toilet. Meanwhile, Stuart's in his office. There we go, talking to Lorne Green, saying, go and talk to that Cameron chap about that thing. So he's going to go do that. Meanwhile, his daughter, who's only 7 years younger than him, phones him up and wants to have lunch with him. So they're going to go have lunch. Meanwhile, oh look, we're getting another earthquake. Oh no, or is this it? I don't know. I don't think this is I think it's just a pre-shock or whatever. But anyway, there we go. It puts him off. That's HB Haggerty. Puts him off his shot, and they won't let him. Take his, there's a foul shot he's done. The word says, surely not, it's an earthquake. But anyway, so they all end up fighting, and nothing gets done about it. And anyway, the shot counted. He says, "Oh, actually, he hits him in a minute. He picks him up. There we go. Picks up Tiger Man and throws him into the pool cues and says the shot counted." And then he says, I don't know, he keeps mentioning that actor names and stuff. There we go, Bobby Riggs, whoever that is, I don't know. Right, so, meanwhile, back at the dam, that crack wasn't there before. Says, well, and this fella here says, oh, that good. Hairline cracks appear all the time, you don't panic over them, there's no such thing as solid concrete. Anyway, but he's still saying, we're going to have a huge quake, it's coming, we've got to warn people, we've got to phone the mayor and all that stuff. And for some reason, he reminds me of somebody. I know it's not him, but who am I thinking of? I know who I'm thinking of, I forgot his bloody name. Jack Palance. He reminds me of Jack Palance for some reason. Anyway, with a tash. Anyway, so there we go. Suppose release this info and there's no quake. Our credibility would be shattered and etc. But then they find out that the fella in the hole earlier on, them two that got covered in dirt, their boss just found out that they're dead. So he's going to phone the mayor. The grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, it don't look like him. It don't look like him. Anyway, right, so there we go. The walls collapse. Frank Adams is dead, so is Jean-Paul. The walls collapsed. So he's going to phone the mayor. So because his boss is dead, he's phoning the mayor. Now he believes there's going to be a big quake. Anyway, right, so Stuart's had enough. He's had enough in the office and he's going out. So he's going to get a drink, he says. So he goes down the elevator. This is where he meets Denise is there. And she's gone to see her friend Barbara, who just happens to be Lorne Green's secretary. So she's going to go for lunch with her. But instead, she's going to go with Charlton Heston instead. So they go, will you join me? Yeah, all right. Off they go. Meanwhile, at some swanky restaurant, Ava Gardner's having dinner with Lorne Green, or lunch, and now she's accusing her husband, Charlton Heston, of having an affair with Genevieve Bujold, and he's telling, no, he's not. He's obligated to her and the boy after the death of the husband, and all that. So basically, she said she's got a plan as Ava Gardner, and she talks her dad into offering Stuart a promotion to president of the company, not of America. Anyway, meanwhile, this fella, the mayor, we've seen him in a million films. I don't know his name. Does it say Mayor? What's his... Yes, John Randolph. There we go. He's been in loads of films, hasn't he, John Randolph? Don't ask me what. But he's got that one of them faces. So here he is, talking him into it. How big a quake? Super big. Don't know. There we go. 7 on the Richter scale, possibly higher. Anyway, so I said, I can't issue a warning, you know. But I think it says that in the next 24 to 48 hours. So what can they do in that time? I don't know. But, you know, what can we cause panic and all that. Can't close the beaches. Anyway, they're still playing pool. There's Tiger Man and the others. And here comes Victoria Principal. There we go. With we're going to see her bosoms in a minute. And, you know, not real, but everybody's going to have a good look at them in a minute. But first, they're going to go and talk to Lou. Who knows? Miles? Is it Miles? Isn't it? I've forgotten already. Miles Quaid and Sally knows them because apparently he arrested them in the past. So they became friends or whatever. I don't know. But anyway. It turns out that they owe money to Tiger Man. And so they've got to pay him the money. They've got $50. So they've got to pay him that. And now they've no money at all. So he's asking to borrow $10 from Lou. And he won't give him it. So, but she comes out and shows off her chest to him. And so he starts handing over money. There we go. I'm covering him up, aren't I? Well, tough. Because she's wearing a T-shirt with Miles Quaid or whatever on it. And so he's just staring and just starts handing over money. There we go. Misogynists. It's 1974. It's fine. Right. Are we with Stuart and... yes, we're with Stuart and Denise. They're having a bottle of wine. I think they're at Denise's house, aren't they? So they haven't gone to a bar or anything or a restaurant. They've gone to her house. So I suppose you could say this is where they start having... They're not really having an affair yet, I think. But, or have they now? I think they are now. I think they've done it, haven't they? We just had a drink. And she'll ask me, no small talk. And then it cuts, you know, like looking. And then she's getting dressed, so they've had a drink and then they've gone on with it. Because there we go, they're all on the bed, fully clothed. Must have been safe sex. But now they are having an affair. I think you are absolutely lovely. I presume that's him saying it to her. I can't remember. Let's have a listen, just to make sure. Yes, he is.
I think you are absolutely lovely.
There we go. Should say that to more women. I think you are absolutely lovely. Anyway, right, so now they're having an affair. And now he's decided he wants her to go and move up to somewhere. I think Canada or somewhere. He's got a job. Part of his job is he's got to go up to Canada. He's buying a house up there because it's going to be a long job. There we go. Rent a house up there. Does he say where? I can't remember where it is. Oregon. There we not Canada. Oregon. I don't know why I thought I think maybe I'm thinking Ottawa. Oregon. There we go. So he asks her that, and she says she'll think about it, and she decides she wants to go, but then it's all going to obviously, things happen. Anyway, right. So over the radio in the supermarket, we learned that the National Guard has been mobilised, and Jody is in the National Guard, so he's going to head home and get his gear. The 33rd Communications Battalion. Anyway, right. So, is this the bit? Is this the cool bit of the film where he's going to test out he's going to do a test run on his bike? She says, "You're crazy," and walks off. It's in a bit. Right, so Jody goes back to his apartment, and we see there's these bullies that keep picking on him, sitting on the steps. They're picking on him and getting his gear on. and they just walk into his apartment, and they just, there we go. Because he's got pictures of bodybuilders and stuff on his wall. They ask if he's a bit light in his loafers, so he just ignores them and walks out. There they are throwing stuff at him. He'll get them in a minute. What's happened to his hair? It were all like curly before, and now it's like super straight. I don't get it. Did he comb it? Did it show what he did with it? Or did it just change magically? Let's go back. There, it's curly there, look. His hair's curly there. And next time we see him, hang on there, so he just runs his fingers through it. Oh no, he ain't going to run his fingers through it. There. Right, so these come in now. And it turns out his hair's completely different. It looks like a wig, doesn't it? What's gone on? Maybe he's got different wigs. Maybe he's bald. He's like Lex Luthor. Maybe he's got different wigs in his closet. Who knows? How bizarre. I did notice, but when I watched it, I thought, what's happened to his hair? And I never went back to check to see if he did anything to his hair. And he didn't. He didn't do anything to it. Just changes mid-scene. Anyway, so there they are, mocking him, but he'll get his revenge on them, and he drives off. Right, what's happening here? Oh, wow, this is Stuart with the Cameron fella, showing them all about earthquake-proof buildings. And he says, you've got to build it above code. Because at the last big quake, a lot of buildings that met the code collapsed, so we should build it better than code. That's what he's telling them. So they're gonna... so he's saying okie dokie basically, and or maybe or whatever, he's not sure if it's worked. But then Sam calls him up to his office and he says, I thought you were going to chew me out for leaning on Cameron, but he says, no, I'm promoting you to president of the company because I'm moving up to become chairman of the board. So it's like, oh yeah, but then he thinks about Denise and the job, because he says you won't have to go up to Oregon and do all that work up there because you'll be president. And he said, oh, hang on then, can I think about it? He says, yeah, okay then. But then he realises that it's all, as Remy's put him up to it, put her father up to it. And he says, no, I would have made you president even if you weren't my son-in-law. Anyway. So... they were supposed to meet up that night, so he's phoning up to say we'll have to have a rain check, so problems come up at work. And she says we'll have lots of time together up in Oregon, so now she's saying yes, she's thought about it, she's saying yes. Anyway, right, so Miles is going to do his test run. Here we go, and there's an actual accident in this that wasn't scripted, but anyway, so off he goes. Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. I'll just play it. I was actually quite shocked at this. I thought, hang on, was that a stunt? But on reading it was actually, it went wrong. And thankfully, the stunt man, I'll tell you his name, it's in my notes. When I find it, Bud Elkins is the stunt man. It actually goes wrong. And I'll show you. But thankfully, he's uninjured. But it looks bad. So here we go. Are you ready? Here he goes. Ow! Ow! That wasn't supposed to happen. But thankfully, we were uninjured. So they kept it in. I suppose if it had been like, killed or whatever. But then again, as we saw in Sword and the Sorcerer last Wednesday, that stuntman died in that fall. And they kept that in, didn't they? Not the bit where he hit the ground, but anyway, so there we go. So they kept it in. And he says, I can do it again. Look, he's fine. We've only got 250 left, thankfully. But so he's going to have another go. And he does it this time. There we go. Whee! Round and round he goes. And over the other stuff. Whee! And round that bit. And then through the hoop of fire, or whatever they call it. Flaming ring. I don't know. But there we go. So, yeah. Cool! So... He's got to do it again when the fella from Vegas arrives. That's Barbara, his secretary, who is friends with Denise for some reason. I don't know how, but they're just there. And Remy's arrived. Look, have you spoken to Stuart yet? Yes, I've offered him the job. He wants to think about it. Right, here comes the guy from Vegas. There he is. But before they get chance to show the guy from Vegas, the big quake hits. I think this goes on for like 9 minutes or something. So it says in the notes. Where does it say? Bum, 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 bum. Yes, the earthquake sequence lasts 9 minutes. I mean, there's technically. Does it mean all the sequences together, or just this one? This is the main quake, but there are other shorter sequences. But anyway, last 9 minutes. But obviously, earthquakes apparently don't go that long. If this were a 9.9, which is impossible on the Richter scale, it would last like about 5 minutes. But it goes on for 9 apparently. I've been in a tremor. We don't get a lot of earthquakes in the UK, but we had a tremor a few years back. And that was weird. Only one I've ever felt. Just the house shook for 2 seconds, but it was weird. It gets all your senses alert. I'll tell you that. Anyway, right. So, I think he says to her, I thought about it. I'll take the job. They go, you've got yourself a new president, and then she puts her foot in it. Great, you won't have to see that woman again or whatever. There we go. That Marshall woman. And now he realises, oh, that's it, isn't it? There we go. Hang on, when he says it. Oh no, he just storms out. Because he realises she got her dad to offer him the job. So they're having a row, and they're getting the elevator, rowing in the elevator. And he says, this is where he says, I know you were having an affair. And, and he says, it wasn't until today, but now he is. And he's going to go and bugger off with her. Anyway, and they're rowing, and people get in the elevator. Meanwhile, she said she was going to the cinema. She was going to the movies. Or, I forgot her name. Victoria Principal, whatever she's called. To watch a Clint Eastwood film. And she is. I think she's watching High Plains Drifter. Not that it shows us. It does show us the film. Or maybe it shows us later. But she's watching High Plains Drifter. What's this? We've seen, I forgot his name already. Corey. We've seen Corey on his bike, just tootling about. They come out of the building, and it's all going to happen any minute now. Honest, it is. Denise is just out for a walk. For no reason. She sees a dog barking, and there are lots of other dogs barking in the distance and all that stuff. And so, what's going on? So she goes up and has a look at these houses on stilts, like the one in, which one was it? One of the Lethal Weapons, wasn't it? Which one was it? I can't remember which one it was that they pulled down, didn't they? It was like one of them, isn't it? Maybe it is one of them. I don't know. But she just waves at some bloke. There we see some superimposed birds flying away, because birds know when earthquakes are going to happen, don't they? I mean, all the fish in the lake are probably swimming away as well, I imagine. Sprouting legs and walking off and escaping. But there we go. I found the trouble, he says. Busted a conduit way down there. Anyway, right, here we go. So there we go. She's watching High Plains Drifter, apparently, I think. But then the earthquake's going to happen. There we go. Everybody's panicking. Yeah, no, panicking. And apparently some of these scenes, maybe it's not these because she's in it, but where does it show it? That belt, that thing. You see like a model church. I see a model church getting hit. Where is it? I've seen it somewhere. They used footage from another film. Where is it? Sure I've got it in my notes. Or maybe not. Who knows? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, maybe I didn't put it in. But they did use footage of the theatre footage. Here we go. Some of the scenes of panicking extras in the movie theatre is footage from Torn Curtain from 1966. But maybe we haven't shown that yet. But we see everything's all shaking about, and there we go. All that's falling down. Oh, no. All that falls down. it's all burning now. And she's like, oh no! And I said, get down! So they're down on the floor. Look, all stuff's falling on people. Ah! Cool stuff. But that's some good. I don't know if they're forced perspective or just superimposed, because sometimes you can see a line where, like a model shot is superimposed over real people, particularly later on. Still looks good though, but he's going to get got. Oh, bet that hurt. Right, she goes running out of the movie theatre. That's not from Torn Curtain. It must have been when they were inside. Look, the ground's lifting up because it's an earthquake. Oh, aye, this truck full of cows. I was shocked at this. I genuinely was. And they're all... Why are they carrying on driving? Why don't they just stop? Look, they're all carrying on driving. It's all shaking and stuff. I'd just stop and get out. But, no, they just carry on. And the bloody... The truck with the cows goes over. Look, hang on. Where is it? Look. Poor cows. They look like bloody cows from like a model farm, don't they? But, but the poor cows and Herbie as well is copying for it. Oh no. The poor cows, they've not done anything wrong, have they? Anyway, so the Corrie's going to get hurt now. He's going to fall down. There we go, down there. She's falling over. She saw some bloke earlier on, before the quake. I think it was before the quake, and she waved up at him, and he like had a beer in his hand and waved back. Did she know him? I don't know. Maybe she's just super friendly. I don't know. But there we go. The house falls down. The one on the stilts. There it is. There's the fellow with his cooers that he just dropped. And there we see the house falls down. He seems fine though. He comes rolling down the hill. Look, he just gets up and runs off. So he survived, I think, and she does as well. She runs out of the way of the house, heading towards her. Anyway, there's the model church from, I don't know, 3 Mules for Sister Sarah, whatever that film is. Collapsing. There's some good model work, but that looks particularly modelly, doesn't it? Anyway. Oh, the poor fellas doing the windows. They're caught for it. Look, they're plummeting. Lorne Green can do nothing to save them. Although he tries. Look, he tries. Bless him. He's a really good character in this, I must admit. He's the boss of the company, but, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Unlike the Cameron fella. I think it's the Cameron fella, yes, that we see in a bit. There he is, him, the Cameron chap. He's not a nice guy, and he gets his up and comings. If you've seen an earlier show, you know where that comes from. And then we get the famous shot of Tower Records. No, it's Capitol. Did they change it to Tower Records? I don't know, but the Capitol Records building. All collapsing, which were reused in Galactica 80, wasn't it, when it showed the prediction of what would happen to Los Angeles if the Cylons attacked. They just reused this, didn't they? It showed, like, Cylon Raiders flying about, shooting things. But, oh, look, somebody fell out the windows there, look. Crikey. But, yeah. Cool model. These are obviously models, but, really good, really good. I like them. Also, a bit of product placement there. But, yeah. So, down all the buildings go. There's Mr. Cameron. Going to head for the elevator. Shouldn't use an elevator in an earthquake, should you? Should take the stairs. But here we see him. He pulls people out of the way as he gets in the elevator. Oh my, poor Barbara's getting in. And Cameron pulls her out of the way. Here he goes. Saves her life, actually. There we go. Shoves Barbara out of the way. Gets in the elevator. And it won't go well for this lot. They get killed by an animation. Anyway, there we go. Everything's blowing up, look, and the elevator's going to plummet. There we go. It plummets to the ground, and then we get an animated blood splatter. And that is in my notes. I'm pretty sure that is in my notes. Just bear with me while I find that. Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. Rum-ti-tum-ti-tum-ti-tum, diddly-dee-dee-dee. Well, I thought I had it in my bloody note. Oh, here we go. When the elevator crashes to the ground, there's a very unrealistic animated splash of blood thrown up on the screen. They originally intended to spray stage blood, but could not get it to work correctly. Eventually they decided to simply use animation instead. This led to a rumour that the MPAA required them to use the obvious cartoon blood to cut down on the on-screen violence, but that rumour is false, according to the director's notes. So there we go. Let's make sure we're still going, by the way. Yeah, we are. Of course we are. Right, where were we? We've seen the earthquake's still going on, by the way, and it's not affecting the planes, thankfully. It's a pity we didn't see, LAX cop for it. They could have built a model of LAX getting destroyed, couldn't they? But just show lots of shaky camera work. One of Albert Whitlock's amazing matte paintings, with smoke effects and stuff superimposed. It looks cool. Look cool, people running away in the foreground. There's a shot of a building. I don't know if I've skipped past it. I hope I haven't. There's Walter Matthau still drinking. Oh wow, this fella. Hang on, let's go back again. The poor cook gets boiling water on him. Ah! Bet that hurts. Meanwhile, at the Seismology Institute, they're running out, and he said, "See, I told you." But whatever. Bit late now, isn't it? Look, people are stumbling about. Yes. This was kind of cool and gruesome. Because we only see her from the back, and then loads of glass falls down. There we go. But we can actually see she's already got the glass. We go through it frame at a time. I forgot the button it is. She's actually got the glass already on her face before it hits her. Look. She shouldn't have looked up, should she? But anyway, she turns round and there it goes, all impaled on her face. And then this woman comes running up saying, "Mother!" I'm sure she's fine. Anyway, so they're getting out. Who's that? Don't know who that is. That's a cop. Oh, we're in the police station now. Yes, we're in the police station. It's all collapsing. And the fella that they were chasing in the car at the beginning was supposed to be here, but they've decided. I bet he got off scot-free. Yes, another bit here. He says, "Go and turn off the gas," to this fella here. Where is he? Hang on, it might be in a bit. There we go. Turn off the gas to this man with a cigarette in his mouth. So he goes running in with a cigarette in his mouth, and boom, blows the bloody house up. Oh dear. Meanwhile, that church is still. They're getting their money's worth for this church, aren't they? And there we go. To for some reason, that reminds me of the Dome City in Logan's Run. I don't know why. It just does. But is it a painting or a model or a combination of two? I don't know. But it's a cool shot of devastated Los Angeles. But I missed out the building I wanted to see, so I'm going to have to go back again, see if I can catch it. There's a bit that they use an effect that looks a bit poo, if you ask me, but they kept it in the film. Let's keep going. See if I land on it. Eh dear. See if I can remember where I am. Keep going. No, I think it's. Is it before or after that? I can't remember when it is. Oh dear. I'm not going to land on it, am I? Oh, there we go. Landed on it. They did this of it. It's supposed to make it look as though the building's shaking about, but it just looks stupid. It's a reflection of the building in like glass or whatever, or something super reflective. And they're just bending it to make it like do that, to make it look warped. Is it supposed to be a reflection in another building? I don't know. But it doesn't look great, does it? But it does have relevance to the film, apparently, and it's in my notes, if I can find it. If I can find it. By the way, producers travelled to Europe to interest Audrey Hepburn for the role of Remy Royce Graff. Audrey had been retired from films for nearly 10 years at this point and did not like the dialogue of the character nor the physical requirements of the film role and turned the producers down. The part of Remy Royce Graff was filled at the last minute by Ava Gardner after filming had already started. They left that a bit late, didn't they? Anyway. Where did what? I forgot why. Shots of the Black Tower, a 12-storey office building on the movie lot, swaying, was accomplished by shooting its reflection in the mirror, then warping the mirror back and forth. This sequence was shot as a test prior to production and wound up in the final film as an in-joke at Universal Studios' expense. At the time, the Black Tower housed Universal's top executives. Ha ha ha. Anyway, right, I've got to go back to where we were now. So, see all the devastation. Poor cows, copy for it. Bloody hell. And Herbie. Poor Cordy gets hurt. There we go. He falls off his bike and he's ligged out now at the bottom of the... it's the spillway. He's ligged in the bottom of the spillway for the dam. There he is. Unconscious. He survives, I think. He goes, it looks like Alex Jones, isn't he? There we go, goes rolling down the hill. I'm sure he's fine. Look, he goes running off. She survives that, and there we go, that bloody church. Got to play that again. Planes are fine, because you don't get earthquakes in the sky, do you? Skyquakes. Although there's such a thing, isn't there? I'm sure I've heard that somewhere. He's still drinking. The fella gets boiling hot water on him. Walter Mataskansky doesn't care. The Institute, their needles are going off the chart. And what else? Oh, the poor woman with glass in her face that she had in already before the glass hit her. Police station. There we go. Dead people in the police station. Turn off the gas, boom, that church again, and the domed city from Logan's Run, right, so lots of bodies, by the way, although it shows lots of bodies there, we don't see a lot of bodies really for the rest of the film, amidst the carnage, which is weird. Another cool shot, is that another matte painting? Probably, I said there's 70 in this film, over 70, but anyway. So they've got to go and try and help people now. There we go. They've got to try and get out. Obviously, they can't go through the elevators. There you go. He's taking charge. Is Sam. Right, but they can't get down the stairs. Look, we've got to break the windows. This fella's gonna fall. There we go. Did somebody push him? What's happening here? Yes, that's it. They're going down the stairs, that's it, and they run into him, and that's how he falls. She's gone. Oh, poor lass. Oh, dear. And he's going to fall as well. Oh, crikey Moses. Right, so people are dying, left, right, and centre. Look, even Lorne Green's trying to help him, because he's Commander of Dammer. Should show somebody like Land Behind her. She doesn't even notice. Too wrapped up in her own problems. Meanwhile, she's looking for Corrie, and she just somehow happens to know where he is. I don't know how she knows, but she's gone home. He's not there. Does he go to the same place all the time? That's where she checks. I don't know, but anyway, back at the mayor's office, they're going to try and get through to a radio station. Using a microwave link up or something to try and tell people what to do. He's still sat at the bar. He don't look well. Right, so saying the dam's gonna burst. So he says we've got to divert the water into the spillway, but they can't get it to turn. So they get a fella with a blowtorch in a minute. Right, so anyway, so the stairs have gone, they can't get down there, and So they're going to use a chair in a minute, but I think he's going to check the elevator first. Here we go. There's the axe, look. There we go. He opens the elevator and all smoke comes out because there must be a fire down there. So they close that up and he's going to... Oh, there we go. So we can't go that way. So he's going to use the fire hose and the chair. They're going to tie it to a chair and then they're going to lower people down in this chair. And they tell the women to take off their pantyhose. There we go. Take off your pantyhose. They're going to tie people to the chair with their pantyhose. Are they that strong? They must be, I don't know. So that's what they're going to do. And it works. They get most of the people down. Well, actually, they get all the people down that are up there. There they've got this fella's here burning away at it. So try it now, and it works. There we go. So they diverted the water. So they relieved the pressure from the dam. Unfortunately, poor Corrie's on the spillway. There he is, and the water's going to come. And luckily, she's found him. A city of, I don't know how many million people live in Los Angeles. She's found him. Anyway, so she's trying to get to him. But he's got all these live wires, look, around him. And then she gets stuck, and she's saying, help, I can't get back up. And thankfully, Miles Quaid and Sal just happen to be passing. So they help. But he's moaning about everything's broken and all that, and the fella from Vegas has gone. But anyway, so they help, and they climb down, and there we go. They get Corrie up, and then they come back to help her. But the water's coming. Look, she sees it, so she's going to get electrocuted. Here it comes. Look, But she climbs up and says, help me, and they get her just in time. And so they're going to head into town to a hospital or whatever. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? And Josh is here, harpoon at the ready. I'm not sure how much use a harpoon would be in this instance. Can't harpoon an earthquake, I don't think. Anyway, all that blows up. Right, so they're all the survivors in near the bar are all asking George Kennedy what to do, because it's George Kennedy, and B, he's playing the copper. And he says, shut up, you're going to have to help yourselves, and go and get things to do. And so he's taking charge. There we go. Go to that hardware store, get shovels, we've got to dig people out, and all that stuff. This kid gets through on the radio, there we go, and got the mayor saying, this is a day of infamy, and all that stuff. And the National Guard are coming to help us out, etc. Can you? Maybe you can. Harpoon the earth! That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Some big alien ship harpooning the earth and dragging it away. Anyway, right, where were we? She's asking about her dad. Yes, he's up there. It is. They've got everybody. This is the last fella. The last fella's a younger man, obviously, but he says, because it's Lorne Green, he's commander of Dharma, he says, you go next. I've got you. So down he goes, and then Lorne Green's going to come, but he can't. I think he's having a heart attack now. So Charlton Heston goes up, climbs up. I love the matte paintings in this, great matte paintings and model shots. So he's gonna take him down. There we go. He puts him on the chair, and down he goes. And and thankfully everything's fine. There we go. They all get down, but it's ripping. Look, but he does make it, just about. There we go. So they all go down the stairs, and they see. Oh no, they're fine. They're just pretending to be dead. Another cool matte painting. Right, so they arrive in town, and a hospital has been set up in one of the buildings. I can't remember which one, but it has been set up, and that's where they end up. And here come the National Guard, with Jodie, who was in command of a troop of soldiers, and he's in the area where his supermarket is. So anyway, Oh, aye, Victoria. What they call Victoria Principal's character? Can never bloody remember. Rosa. Rosa goes into this shop and she sees some bagels or donuts or whatever. She's hungry because surviving an earthquake makes you have an appetite apparently. But then she sees all the money, look, in the till. But she doesn't take it, but a soldier sees her. Oh, get away from that cash register. We've got orders about looters. Good job he didn't just blow her away, isn't it? But he arrests her. And she says, I was hungry. I didn't take the money. Another cool matte painting. Anyway, so they're all arriving at whatever this building is. I don't know. Maybe it's the hospital. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's... I don't know. But it's underground. Or maybe it's the building that they were all in, the Royce building or whatever it's called. But anyway, they've set up like a triage hospital in the underground car park. So there we go. So that's where they're going in there, and so he's gonna go. There we go. Oh, they take. Oh, we learn that he's had a heart attack as Lorne Green, and they take him away to see to him. Anyway. Stuart decides he's got to go and find Denise and Corrie because he's in love with Denise, and he says, what about us? And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, more or less, and off he goes. I think he sets off a bit fast and then stops again, doesn't he? So off he goes looking for Denise, and is it this bit where he just drives straight past him? No, it must be a bit later. George Murdoch's there. Admiral Hanson. Is it Admiral Hanson? From Star Trek The Next Generation. Wolf 359. There he is. As a colonel. Colonel Tom... I don't know. Whatever. District Engineers. He's at the dam. But... a helicopter's there, look. So there's no present danger of the dam collapsing, but get to higher ground, they're saying, basically. You've got plenty of time, you're okay. It's just a precautionary measure. So there we go. You're going to be all right, but, go to this other area. So anyway, him and his troop are patrolling, and they come across... First off, there we go. He sees that Rose remember he were ogling Rose earlier on. He sees she's been arrested. He says, she's a friend of mine, I'll take care of her. So basically drags her off, and he's going to look after her, if you know what I mean. He goes driving by. There's Charlton Heston, Stuart, doesn't realise, there we go, that Miles Quaid drives past, and Denise and Corrie are in there, so he's just missed them, hasn't he? Right, so, they find the bullies from Jodie's apartment from earlier on. They've been arrested because they've definitely been looting, because they've got loads of stuff that they've got, look, all jewels and things. So he says, well, we'll have to shoot them then. And then he says, no, I'm just kidding. And but he says, he says, come back. He says, oh, run or I'll shoot you. And he goes, oh, I'm only kidding. Come back, guys. I'm only kidding. And then he kills him. Oh, there we go. That's her looking. And so she's shocked. So he's just shot him in cold blood. And they're all saying, come on now. The other soldiers say, no, but we should find an officer or whatever. He's gone doolally, as Jodie. Power's gone to his head. Stu's arrived at Denise's house. She's not there, because obviously she's with Miles Quaid in his truck. They've gone to the hospital, haven't they? The triage hospital. So he's driving about looking for her, and he comes across George Kennedy. There we go. And he says, your car looks amazing. We've got injured. But pile them all in here and take them to the hospital. And says, I'm looking for somebody. He says, tough. But you'll have to drive it because I can't drive it. So they get people in. Oh, he finds a little doggy, look. Oh, bless him. So takes the doggy as well. Saves the dog. Right, so here they go, they've arrived. We learn that Corrie's in shock. We won't come to, he just says he's in shock, so they go and see to him. But they take him up to another level, and they won't let her go. And they said, "We'll let you know how he is." So, right. So they forgot to go down to the car park area or whatever, where all the other survivors are. Anyway, all the kids are playing in the pool. Oh my, and Walter Mattau's dancing about. Is that actually Walter Matthau though? I don't know, because we see him dancing about and then falling over in a bit. She comes across Remy and Denise come across each other. That was Walter. Is it? I don't think that's. Is it? Is that actually Walter Matthau? Or is it a stand-in? I don't know. Does it matter? But that's the character. It's still drinking. Lorne Green dies in this. Sam Royce, he doesn't survive his heart attack, and he says he never had a chance. So that's very sad, because he was a nice character. Anyway, so he's brought Rosa some food as Jodie, and he's saying, "I'll look after you," because obviously he's gone mental, hasn't he? He's gone mental. So he's going to try and force himself on her in a bit. Right, so... they're taking Corrie for some x-rays or something. The army's got an x-ray truck, that's where they're taking Corrie. So I think she's asking about her dad, and he just says, "Don't bother me now." So she doesn't know that her dad's died. What else? There's another shock, another tremor happens, and there we go. And the building starts shedding stuff, and it does look pretty good. This is a model shot, and there's a line there. You can just make it out there. The line there where they've superimposed it, because bits start falling like that behind that line. There you go, disappearing behind that. Look, still looks cool. It is cool, I must admit. So there we go. No. Look, they're all getting hit by chunks of building materials. And even Ava Gardner cops for some stuff. But she's okay for now. But anyway, there we go. More earthquake shenanigans. Look, blimey, it's all falling down. So they're trapped in there now by the looks of it. But the dog's fine. Right. He notices the door won't shut. The door's warped. Justin says the effects do hold up. Yes, they do. They're actually surprisingly good. Apart from that church, that like Mexican style church. But all the other stuff's pretty good. So it's like the dam's going to break because the door won't close. Meanwhile, he's putting jewels on her. Pretty girl should have nice things because I've gone mental. And she's like, obviously terrified and just trying to placate him. There you go, she's shouting, "Lou, help me, he's nuts, he's crazy." And he threatens to shoot him. But then all the other soldiers run off. There you go, she's saying, "Help me." But he tells them to go away. Get out of here or I'll shoot you. So they set off away. But then he notices all the other soldiers running off. Look, they're going, "Look, we've got to find an officer. He's gone batshit." There you go. And he notices, Lou notices all the other soldiers running off. So he says, "Stop, I'm going to go back." So he's got to go back and save Rosa. Look, she's going to get got by Jodie now. "Nuts am I? You're a hoe," and all that stuff. Look, he's going to rip her clothes and everything. There you go. Because he's a bad un. And then Lou comes in, and shoots him. There we go, shoots him. And his hair's gone. Oh, what a wig. It was a wig. I didn't notice that before. Cool. I'm going to check this out now as we go back. There we go. So he shoots him. No, he doesn't shoot him with a machine gun. He just shoots him with his service revolver. And then it cuts. They obviously thought, why is his hair changed? And then it shows the shot of him. Where is it? Oh, for Pete's sake. On the floor. There it is. And it was a wig. I don't get it. Did somebody just notice in continuity? I said, "Look, we'll show that he's wearing a wig to cover his curly hair." Maybe his curly hair's not regulation for the National Guard. I don't know. Justy says, man, that Chevy is so cool. I wasn't paying attention. You mean Charlton Heston's car? It is a cool car. So yeah, we're wearing a wig for some reason. But now he's done. So he's saved Jodie and not Jodie. He saved Rosa and gives her the dog. There we go. Come on, look, I've got a dog for you. So women like little doggos, don't they? Anyway, so they're going to head to the hospital or whatever. And then the dam's going to break. Another cool shot. Another cool, matte paintings and stuff and smoke effects and maybe models. I don't know. But lots of cool stuff going on. Right, so anyway. The dam's disintegrating. There we go. Just got word that the dam's disintegrating. But they're okay there, but the drains are 40 feet down and there's all people trapped below, in the below area of that building. And they're gonna drown, so they've got to get them out before the dam gives in. So down they go into the sewers. Hope there's no alligators down there. I mean, that'd just be compounding disasters, one on top of another, for a big giant alligator down there. Thankfully there's not, or they don't come across one anyway. So off they go. Here they are. They can get through there. So he's going to get me a big drill. I'm going to drill through it because I'm Charlton Heston and stuff. So that's what he's going to do. And it works as well. There we go. Get me a jackhammer or whatever. I don't know. Right, so there he's off digging away. And he gets through. And there's about 70 people down there. Jason is there, and the Ninja Turtles. Yes, Jason Voorhees is down there as well. There we go. The dam's going, look. Oh no, it's just like Force 10 from Navarone, isn't it? You've got to let nature take its course. Cool film, is that? Harrison Ford in it as well. Edward Fox. And Robert Shaw. I haven't seen that film for a while. Richard Keel, Barbara Bach, Franco Nero. Crikey, I'm remembering names all of a sudden. Anyway, there we go. They're nearly through. Anyway, they get through. And there we go. There's all the people there. I think they said there's about 70. And they get them all out. Weirdly. In no time at all. No time at all they get them out. There we go. Hello. We're fine. Come on, let's get out of here. So, anyway, so there they go. Oh, she sees them. Look. Embracing. She's mine now, damn it. Hang on, where are we? That sounded like Bane. Time to go mobile. So Bane, we don't know, won't it? If we're talking about Bane, we're talking about that. Anyway, Remy sees them two embrace, so she knows who she is now. Right, so they're getting them all out, and the injured and the women and stuff like that, and off they go. But then the dam breaks. Oh no, there it goes, and here it comes. And all the Ents are running out of the way as well, because Isengard is doomed. That's a water effects, model water effects never really look as good as they should, but it's fine. It's because you can't miniaturize water or fire, can you? But it looks cool. It reminds me of when the dam breaks in Superman, which would be made a couple of years later. It reminds me of that. But anyway, there it goes, and so all the water's going to flood down into the sewers and stuff. So anyway, they start getting people out, but then the water's going to start coming. You start hearing it rumbling. He's on his bike for some reason. Don't know why, I can't remember. But don't know why he's riding his bike around. I'm sure he's got a good reason. Oh, excuse me. Eh, dear. Right, so anyway, they're getting people out. There we go. There's more stuff getting washed away. Right, so it says that's it, that's everybody. So off they go, and but then the water starts coming into the sewer, and what I'd have done, because they can hear it coming, they can hear the rumble of the water coming. I'd have had like it getting windy in there, because the force of the water would start pushing the air through the tunnel, wouldn't it? So I'd have had like wind and stuff as well, but they don't bother. Rubbish filmmakers. Anyway, so he gets out just in time. Look, it pulls him out just in time as that collapses. Wow, bicycle clips all round for that one. Anyway, they start hear the rumbling of the water, but men are climbing over the women to get out because they're cowards and stuff. But here comes the water any minute now. And here it comes. And, oh no! So some people are going to get washed away. Look, no, they're getting washed away. And some of them start climbing up, but poor Remy gets washed. There we go. Remy's there. And somebody stands on her, that's it, somebody stands on her fingers. And she falls into the water. There she goes. And Charlton Heston looks up into the eyes of his love, Denise. But also his wife's gone into the water, and he can't just do nothing, can he? So he jumps into the water to save her, and they both get washed away. And that's not what happened in the original script. So they can't hold on. The force of the water just washes them away, and they die. And in the original script, it was going to be George Kennedy's character Lou that goes into the water and dies with Remy, and Charlton Heston would survive with Denise, and they would go on. But Charlton Heston said he wanted his character to die because he didn't think it was like morally right that he should survive, with having an affair with his woman that he's having an affair with while his wife died. So he said, rewrite it so that I try and save her and we both die. And there we go. So that's what they did, which is probably a better way for it to go. So George Kennedy survives now, and has the last line that would have been Charlton Heston's line. Anyway, he climbs out, and there we go, gets out. No more down there. Corrie comes too, yay, and the dog's fine. I just hope all them cows are okay. In my head canon, they were swept away but survived. You never know, because we don't see, do we? We don't see what happens, so you never know, they might have been okay. And there were plans for a sequel, but not with Charlton Heston. Anyway, so some chap comes up to George Kennedy and says, "This used to be a hell of a town, officer." And then, actually, this got to me a bit, because he's filling up with emotion, look, when your mouth goes all weird, and when you're holding back the tears. And he goes, "Yes, it used to be," or something like that. What does he say? Oh, it just says, "Yeah, don't it?" And then we pull back and see the devastation. So Los Angeles has copped for it, and Charlton Heston's dead and everything. And that's the end of the film, because then we get the credits. There we go. A really cool film, and they were going to do a sequel. Justin says, George Kennedy's underrated. He's amazing. He's one of my favourite actors is George Kennedy. I think he's everybody's favourite actor, isn't he? Because he's George Kennedy. Sequel. They wouldn't do a sequel. Where I've got written my notes somewhere. So I've got a tickly nose. Something's. I've got a hair or something up my nose. It's tickling. It's doing me head in. Sequel. Where are you? Right, a sequel, Earthquake 2, was planned, and the first draft of the script was written by George Fox, who wrote the script for this movie, but it never made it into development. The sequel follows several of the surviving characters of this movie, George Kennedy, Victoria Principal, Richard Roundtree and Gabriel Dell, as they settle in San Francisco, California. The multi-tiered plot centres on a group of scientists trying to predict future earthquakes on the West Coast, a corrupt builder constructing high-rise apartments on unstable land, and the original characters adjusting to new relationships, Kennedy and Principal, and new business ventures, Roundtree and Dell. An unexpected massive earthquake hits off the coast of San Francisco, levelling the city as a tsunami threatens to wash the Bay Area off the map. Completed in late 75, the script went through several channels at Universal up to Sid Sheinberg, who was the boss of Universal, and the project was active up until early 77. EQ2 and Roller Coaster 1977 were in pre-production simultaneously, but the Earthquake 2 project was killed. This original script was discovered in 2005 in director Mark Robson's papers stored in the UCLA Film and Television Archives. So there we go. I'm surprised it didn't get made. This movie made a ton, and Winggrace is having a go at me. Second only to Telly Savalas. No. Eiger Sanction, he was great in. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen the Eiger Sanction. But that is, remember I mentioned that Jeff Love album. The theme for that is on that album. But I don't think I've seen it. But yeah, it sounds interesting, doesn't it? The sequel, if they had have done one with the tsunami, which is interesting, but they didn't bother, which is rubbish. Telly is an American treasure, yes, but I just don't like him. I'm not a Telly Savalas fan. I do appreciate his accomplishments on the screen and in music, but I'm just not a fan. But I am a fan of George Kennedy. And Lorne Greene. I really like Lorne Greene as well. Right, so I think that's it, isn't it? We're just going to get some shots of the devastation with the... there we go. Hang on, where is it? Sense Around from Universal, patent pending. Created by MCA. Yeah. Cool stuff. Filmed in Panavision, and that's it. We don't get any end credits. Not end credits, post credits. Oh, stop playing. So there we go. Eiger Sanction is worth a watch. Watch Bonanza then. Yes, because he played Ben Cartwright in Bonanza. But he's Commander Adama, isn't he? He's Commander Adama. Anywho. So that's the end of Earthquake. Cool film. Better than I thought it was, to be honest. I knew I liked it because I've seen it before, obviously, but I didn't realise I liked it quite as much as I did. Bonanza is a good show. I was more of a High Chaparral fan, to be honest, when I was a kid, than Bonanza. But anyway, I think High Chaparral had a better theme. Anywho, have I got any trivia that I haven't mentioned in my notes? Let's have a look. I mentioned that about Walter Matthau. And a bizarre coincidence, the location on the first day of shooting was rocked by an earthquake. In an even more bizarre coincidence, an earthquake also struck the location where the last day of shooting occurred. So there we go. At the time, this set the record for the biggest number of stunt people employed on one movie, with a total of 141. What else? After the runaway success of Airport 1970, Universal was very keen to try another disaster movie, recruiting producer Jennings Lang for the task. The idea for a film based around an earthquake came from the 6.6 magnitude earthquake that rocked the San Fernando Valley on February 9th, 1971. What else? The United Artists Theatre in Chicago, Illinois was forced to shut off the Sense-Around speakers when small pieces of plaster from the ceiling fell on audience members. The same thing happened to the Bethany Theatre in Phoenix, Arizona. The Angry Berry disagrees about the theme. I like the High Chaparral theme, I really do. Bonanza theme is a goat. Yes, it is. Yes, I love the Bonanza theme as well, but I like the High Chaparral theme more. I'm not saying that it's rubbish, I'm just saying I like the High Chaparral theme more. Where were we? Yes, Victoria Principal's hair is not a wig. Ava Gardner, I've said that one. She did her own stunts, including dodging blocks of concrete and heavy steel pipes. So I don't think Audrey Hepburn had done that. This film was the fourth highest grossing film of 1974. The Towering Inferno being number one. So there we go. And actually, does it say? I've got it in here somewhere. We'll get to it. There were documented cases of nosebleeds and cracked ribs occurring amongst audience members because of the censor-round system. George Kennedy and Lloyd Nolan were in Airport 1970, which is considered by many to be the grandfather of the disaster movie genre. Kennedy and Charlton Heston went on to star in Airport 1975, which began, the film this year. That year, 1974, which began filming 18 hours after production on Earthquake wrapped. So they didn't get much time off, did they? Anyway. That's about the sequel. Officer Slade's rank is Policeman 3+1, 2 stripes and a star. 1 rank below Sergeant. But technically he was suspended, wasn't he? Here we go. The original shooting script had Charlton Heston survive at the end of the film, while Ava Gardner and George Kennedy were killed separately, in the storm-drained tunnel, with Slade being crushed in the small, narrow tunnel by a concrete block that falls, and Remy being swept away by the flood. However, Heston was dissatisfied with the script as written, since his character survives to rebuild the city with his mistress by his side, which he felt was not morally sound, and a predictable ending. Since Heston had script approval, he insisted his character die while trying to save his drowning wife. Despite Mark Robson's attempt to film the original ending, to which Heston flatly refused, the change was made. Slade survives and says the final lines of the film that were originally intended for Heston. So there we go, that's my notes. I liked Audrey until Robin Hood with Connery. I've seen that, but a long time ago, and I can't really remember what happens in it. That ending was trash. Which one? The original one with Heston at one time was a huge star. Yeah, well, yes, it was. It was. It was the biggest star in the world, and back in the 50s and 60s, really, wasn't it? That Ben-Hur and El Cid and all them sort of films. 10 Commandments and all that. But, yeah. Didn't help his case of being on, what was it? Was it Bowling for Columbine? Because he were in the NRA and all that, wasn't he? But, Robin Hood. The ending of Robin Hood was trash, was it? I don't know. I can't remember what happens in it. It's a long time since I've seen it. If I might not have seen it, I might just have seen clips. I can't remember. But anyway. Right, so we're all done and dusted. For Earthquake. Cool film. Blu-ray's rubbish. Although picture's nice, obviously, but no special features. I'm really annoyed at that. But yeah, cool. Right, so what's coming up next? We're on Monday. On Wednesday, for Watch Party Wednesday, we're watching Dreamscape, starring Dennis Quaid. Yes, you have to pry the guns from his cold, dead hands. Yes, I'm not going to comment of guns. Yes. Anyway, yes, on Wednesday we're watching Dreamscape, starring Dennis Quaid, Max von Sydow and Christopher Plummer, and that fella that always plays a baddie. He was in Commando as well. Plays a baddie in that as well. Cool film. That's what we're watching on Wednesday. And on Friday, what watching on Friday? I've forgotten. Have I got the discount? Oh, yes. Friday Night Appointment with Fear. We're watching, we're going to break down a review. Devil from 2010. That one where they're all trapped in an elevator and one of them's the devil or a devil or whatever. Produced by M. Night Shyamalan and directed by somebody else. I can't remember who. John Eric Dowdle. who also did Quarantine and the Poughkeepsie tapes, I think. So that's on Friday. And I haven't decided what I'm doing next week, I don't think. No, I haven't. So there we go. Justin says Devil is underrated. It's a decent flick. That's why I've got it on Blu-ray. But yeah, so that's coming up on Friday. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin, for the super chats and super stickers. Thank you very much. It's hugely appreciated. It really does help. Because StreamYard's charge an arm and a leg, for crying out loud. I've seen other people complaining about it as well. Maybe they'll listen to some bigger streamers. Anyway, so thanks, Justin, for that. Thanks, Wingrace and Josh Temple. Did anybody else pop in? I don't think they did. I didn't notice, but, I'm a terrible person. No, I think that was it. Let's have a look on Rumble, make sure nobody's said anything on Rumble. No, they haven't. Right, fair enough. And I don't do Twitch anymore. Right, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it. I'll see if my cat wants to come back in. I bet she's been jumping up at the back door. She jumps up at the door handle and she opens it. But I've got like a chain on, not a chain, but like a bar that acts like a chain. And if I didn't have that on, she'd be in the house. But anyway, so I'll go check that. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are. Hang on, let me get started before I do this. Where are we? There we go. Right, so thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. Don't worry about earthquakes. Unless you live in an earthquake zone. But anyway, whatever. And until next time, I'll say there.